big poppin'. Money in the bank coming, dropping a deposit. Having it my way, so I got these bitches watching. Steady getting to it, couldn't fit it in my pocket. Flexing everything, baby, tell me big poppin'. Money in the bank coming, dropping a deposit. Having it my way, so I got these bitches watching. Steady getting to it, couldn't fit it in my pocket. Flexing everything, baby, tell me what to tap it.
How I go from being on the screen to not being on the screen. What's poppin', everybody? It's your favorite doc tender and goss tender, that girl Henny, and I'm about to pour up on these hot topics. Now, as you all know, I'm supposed to be sticking to a schedule. So my schedule, for those of y'all who will be looking for me, because people have been looking for me in these internet streets, and YouTube has been playing with me with this channel, but I will be going live at 10 and 10 on Tuesday and Thursday. That's 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday and Thursdays only. In between that, you'll get quick little blasts, quick little shots, hot shots of hot Henny as they develop. And I'm going to be talking about a wide variety of things. I'm still going to talk about WAC. I'm still going to talk about Krishan. I'm still going to talk about all the things that I've talked about before, but I'm expanding out into other topics because too much toxicity in one area starts to become depressing for me, because I am an empath, for those of y'all who don't know, and I pick up on energy and it really zonks me. But anyway, today we are going to be talking about DDG. Now, I know that this information hit the net yesterday, and I was supposed to put it out yesterday morning because I had it at like 7 a.m. But I didn't, because it wasn't my day to talk about it. And I really got to stick to what I'm supposed to stick to. But we're going to talk about DDG and the swatting situation. I'm going to play his live. I did clip it up, so it's not too much, but we're going to get the gist of everything. Also, there's an update with the DDG and Halle Bailey. I want to say custody that's going on between the two of them. As you know, they both went through domestic violence accusations, restraining orders, restrictions from going out of the country. Like, it's been a lot that has gone on with Halle and DDG, but there is an update with them, so I'm going to bring that to you as well. Also, I did not give my 1, 2, and 3 pennies on my thoughts about Diddy talking about becoming a DV counselor. Like, I'm going to save that. I'm going to reserve for when we get to that portion of programming. I want to talk a little bit without having full knowledge about Finesse 2-Time and his mom. Like, bro. And then finally, Clayton Howard, the escort that has been on a press run, on the run eating from the bloggers. Yeah. His ex is speaking out. She has been speaking out. And I happened to come across a YouTube video last night with a YouTuber who did interview her. Now, the crazy thing is, a lot of us don't know anything about this man besides his involvements with Diddy and Cassie and some of the contradictions that he has said. And yes, I made an emphasis on contradictions because that man's statements are walking contradictions. And I am convinced that people are not all of y'all, but there are some people out there that are not paying attention to what he says, that they're just listening for the salacious parts instead of actually analyzing what's being said, you know? And I'm like, how could y'all just watch The Art of Dialogue where he talked about this, and now he's on Vlad talking about it, and he's giving you extra accounts and taking stuff up? Boy, this is not math. This is conversation. Don't add, divide, subtract, bring it down, round it off to the next clear whole number. Don't do none of that. Just give us the facts, but clearly the facts are tainted. But we're going to hear what his ex has to say. And we're going to talk about a couple of more things too, because it seems like Krishan has jumped into the bloggers world, the streamers world, I mean. And yeah, some things are going on over there in the Big U camp as well. So we're going to talk about all of this. But first up, the first thing that I do want to talk about is I want to talk about the swatting situation that went down with DDG. Now, if you don't know what happened, there was a streamers paintball tournament that was going on where the pot was $25,000, honey, okay? And they were out there doing their little paintball thug thistle, right? And DDG did his portion of it, and he was standing off to the side. Now, the way he tells the story is he stayed around because he wanted to see who won the paintball tournament overall. And so he was, you know, doing his little Mary Jane. Okay. And while he was smoking on his, hey, Mel NYC, not the next poll number. Yes, the next whole number. why he smoked this Mary Jane and he's sitting out there chilling, and then all of a sudden the cops came and surrounded the area. And so in his live stream, DDG does give an account and tell his chat what actually all went on when they came. And I really wanted to share his story because a lot of times people have these swatting situations happen, but they don't come and give us what that moment was actually like for them. But DDG was being very transparent and he told us. So let's take a listen to what he had to say. And I'm going to say shout out to everybody who was in the chat. Your comments are scrolling on the screen, and I will take a moment to salute all of you who are here, especially those of you who are here all the time, every time. I really appreciate everyone. But let's get into what DDG had to say.
Now I want to tell y'all what happened, right? I ended my stream. You feel me? I want to see who wins,
right?
The whole paintball thing. So I stick around. After smoking, everybody was asking me like, "Why are you still here?"
Right.
I should have left after smoking, but I wanted to see who won the tournament.
Right. I
turn around, nigga. It's like 6 police cars.
What?
5. I'm thinking they finna pull up and circle around the whole parking lot, bro. He pull up. Ain't no what's up. Ain't no nothing. Ain't no dude. We got a call. Nothing. Hands in the air. I'm like, hold on.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but when he said, "Ain't no what's up," I never had a cop walk up to me and say, "What's up?" But I'm just saying it tickled me. So I wanted to explain because y'all know I be laughing at inappropriate stuff. It's the sad in me.
Oh, so you got to think what's going through my mental, bro. Just got done getting high. I'm fried. Right. I got to just be high, still in the car, in the back seat with sick on them. And maybe I got laced or something. And I'm
right.
They say hands in the air. I'm like, huh? I'm like, how high you want me to put these? I take these off. Mind you, it's about 6 cars. It's at least 3 officers hopping out of each. Them, like his stance. If you play Call of Duty, you know, bro. They in tack stance in sync though. Hands in the air. They all went this way. Bro, I'm spooked. I'm like, it's nowhere to go. Whole time while I got my hands up, I'm thinking to myself, this is not the way I can go out. It's no way y'all gonna have me stream 5 months in a row, go through all this in my life just to get popped at a paintball arena.
Now, before he continues on with what he's saying, I do want to acknowledge what was just said. Now, regardless of how people feel, because I know being the situation that has gone on between he and Halle Bailey, there has been some tension and some frictions with people and their stance on how they feel about him. I just want to say this. A swatting situation is scary. If you've never had your vehicle surrounded, your home raided, if you've never been in a situation where you've had multiple officers with multiple out on you, then you will never understand the terror that goes through your body, because at any point in time, any wrong move, it could be lights out for you just because. You know what I'm saying? So, I can imagine what was going through his head. Even when you get a regular traffic stop and more than one cop pulls up, you can't tell me that you don't be scared when that happens to you. I know I got pulled over one time, and this was like a couple years ago. And it was only one car, and I knew that they were pulling me over because of the tints on my vehicle. But at that particular point in time, as I was pulling over, I was rolling down all the windows, hitting the interior light, pulling my wallet out of my purse. I had my hands on the steering wheel, and I was not taking my hands off of that steering wheel. I was scared. I was scared because I didn't know what was going to happen, because this is what we've come to as a society, right? This is what we think of as people. We don't feel safe even when the people who are supposed to make us feel safe enter into the picture. But let's continue with what he had to say.
On stream though? On live? I'm like, nah, this ain't the script. So I'm like, these. They like.
He's like these. But let me explain to y'all about the on stream thing too. If you think back to 2020, we started watching live streams and literally have watched people delete on the live stream in front of us. We've watched videos of this happening, so much so that they won't think twice just because it's a live stream about doing anything. Like if he would have got popped on a live stream, it just would have been he's popped on a live stream, and that's sad. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, asked a police officer this before the stream pulled up. Everybody didn't even know. I'm over here dolo. I'm low key looking for like, but I'm like, I don't even want to say nothing. I might shoot off anything.
Did you hear what he said? He was over there by himself. Everybody else was in a different area. He's over there by himself, and he don't even want to say nothing because he's just nervous that something is going to happen. That's a horrible feeling.
Start looking at my skin. I'm like, oh, I'm black. Let me listen to anything. Ed behind me laughing and shit, smiling and shit.
He said, I looked at my skin. Oh shit, I'm black. DDG, you have been black your whole life. You just realized it in that moment.
No, he good. Me, I'm like, if my pinky toe move, they pop me.
That's a fact.
If my earring shake, it's over. Everything I done lived for, my whole life up to this moment is done. It's like, this not even funny though. I start having flashbacks of all like the black people that went through police brutality and all types of, my mind is racing, bro. I'm like, oh, this might really be it. Like, turn around. I'm like, okay, boom. They telling me to turn around. I must be straight. Why? So boom. He told me to walk backwards. I walk backwards. Nigga, I spread my fingers so wide. I don't even want to think it's a little gun in the middle of my damn fingers or nothing. I put my hands behind my head. I'm thinking them damn near, when I got my hands behind my head and I'm turning my back against them, bro, I'm thinking these from the elbow me in the back of my head.
What he's describing, you can't, no matter how you feel, like I said a minute ago, you cannot take away, even though he's giving it to you in like a comedic way, for people to be able to digest the seriousness of what's happening. What he's speaking about, those are facts. These are all the things that actually go through your mind. And this is why I said I wanted to play this, because he's giving an accurate account of things. Like, when you're in that situation, you start thinking of everything that you've already seen. You can't unknow what you know. So like I had mentioned, in 2020, we started seeing this whole trend, I guess, for lack of better words, of people being deleted on lives and by the law enforcement officers. You know what I'm saying? So him thinking like this and saying everything that was flashing back in my mind, yeah. And I know he was receiving some criticism from some people, but come on, bro. You've got to actually take this into account and really hear what he's saying in between it. This is a real situation, and y'all know I got something to say about it when it's done.
And get the whooping my ass, like, but it wasn't that. So they grabbed me, boom, put me in the back of the car. That's when everybody came over, start recording and streaming it. And then he started asking me, I'm like, bro, we got swatted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, y'all on live right now. Like, we big streamers and like, this shit happen all the time. But I guess them don't know. You feel me? So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm explaining to him, like, bro, this is nothing. Like, this literally, we got swatted. Nobody got a gun. They going all through Ed whip, taking all this shit out his whip, taking all this shit out his car. I'm like, bro, I just told you what the happened. Roll his window up, close my door. I'm just sitting in there. I'm bored. I start sitting up, right? I go and I look over the little glass, like, you know, where the driver's seat at, or the police car, and I read the laptop. The laptop said, black Mercedes AMG. Man wants to kill him in GTA, himself and everybody at the paintball place.
Now, what's crazy is they were very specific in what they gave when they called in this SWAT. Now, normally when a person calls in a SWAT, these are the type of things that they say, which is why they come out the way that they come out, which is why this is also very dangerous. I don't know who came up with this idea. I don't know who sits there and watches people on stream or watches their favorite celebrities and feel like, oh, this is cool. Let me call in a SWAT because I want some action. Like, do you realize what you're calling in? You're saying that there's a man there in a specific vehicle, which means that they targeted a specific person at the event, a streamer, and said that this person was trying to delete everybody there. And they're coming out ready to dumb out. Like, them boys are ready to dumb out. They're on timing. Like, are you kidding me?
They had it specifically on Ed Carr. I'm telling you. I don't know who did it. I don't know who thought it was funny or whatever. But I hope you know, like, go to jail for 10 plus years for this.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And that's what I think a lot of them don't even realize, that you can catch charges behind this on the state and the federal level. Okay. And I will talk about that in a minute.
Technology is getting smarter and smarter. Eventually you're going to get caught and you're going to do some years. Cause I literally could have lost my life. You never know what the could have happened. It could have been bad. That was a very serious thing. And I could have literally lost my life.
Now, that's just one portion of what he had to say. He did say more, and he had a message for those people who did this, who called in and swatted. Okay. Yeah, that was very dangerous. Let me see. So I do have that information for y'all, but this is not the first time that we've seen or heard of a celebrity or a streamer being swatted, because Nicki Minaj has been swatted, Rihanna has been swatted, Cardi B was swatted with CPS, but I don't know if that's the same thing. It wouldn't be swatted because it wouldn't be a SWAT team that came out, but they made false CPS allegations against her. Diddy has been swatted. Chris Brown has been swatted. So it's like, and then we've learned, I forgot the young man's name. Forgive me for getting his name, charge my head and not my heart. That was unalived. He was deleted from somebody calling in and getting him swatted. So we've watched this happen, and it's very dangerous for people to play around with that. But what I do want to tell people is you absolutely can. Let me see. Consequences for a false swatting. I think that's what I looked up yesterday and got the information. Okay, yeah, that is what I looked up. Let me go ahead and send this to the computer so I can put it up on the screen for you guys. Because remember, I did tell y'all that as I elevate in my journey of being a streamer, I'm not a streamer, a blogger, or independent journalist, excuse me, because that's what the news lady told me. She said, you are not a YouTuber, you are an independent journalist, okay? So basically, let's look at, I did Google it. Okay, I Googled it real quick for y'all. So it says, if you don't know what swatting is, it's a false swatting incident is where a false report triggers a large police response, can result in severe legal consequences, including both federal and state charges. So what I want to show y'all on this screen for those who are watching, because my age range for people who watch me are between, I thought it was 13, but it's 15 all the way to the age 65 plus. So because I have a younger audience, I am going to let this be known. On the federal level, you can face false statement charges for making a false statement to federal authorities, or to local police authorities. You can get a false statement charge on the local level. You can get wire fraud. You can get threatening interstate communications. You can get conspiracy. And on a state level, you can get false reporting. You can even get manslaughter or homicide if somebody ends up being deleted during one of these. And you'll have to pay the consequences is fines, imprisonment, and a whole gang of other things. So, yeah, this is not something that you guys should really be playing around with out here in these internet streets. And I just don't understand, like, if you are a fan of someone's, why would you ever want to see them be harmed? Like, just somebody answer me that. Or how could you dislike someone so much that you want to see harm come to them, or you think it's funny to watch something happen to somebody. Like, again, like I said, because there's people that feel like he's a disgusting, despicable human being, but the fact of the matter is it still ends with human being. And this is something that is not funny to play with. But he had his own words to say to the person who also had a message for those who thought this type of entertainment was fun and games. Let me just say this. I was working on a video for y'all, and then I said, nope, I'm just going to talk about it in the morning.
I play on the phone. You probably fat, dusty, and nasty looking too. And you'll get no ass and you. And if I ever seen you, I'll slap you in your mouth. You's a. Whoever did it, you's a. You get no ass, you gonna broke. Poor. Yeah, make them more mad. Do it again so your ass can get life. I don't know why they be thinking it's funny to do that.
Now, according to TMZ, they have alleged that they have spoken to the LA sheriffs, and the LA Sheriff's Department has said that they are actually looking into and investigating who it was that actually called this call in. So at some point in time, there's going to be consequences. Okay, so consequences are pending. All right. Now, I'm glad that no one was hurt during this whole situation that went down, because again, it could have went horribly left at any point in time. Now let's move right on along to what's going on with DDG and Halle Bailey when it comes down to their, I don't know, is it a custody battle? Their fight for, yeah, it's custody of their son Halo. Now, you know, this has been a complete mess, child. And they have been back and forth with restraining orders and restrictions on one another. With Haley, recently, like the last thing that before the Diddy trial, let me say that, before I went off on the Diddy trial, Haley was going out the country to take care of some business. And DDG was like, you ain't taking our son out the country. But now, it seems that the two of them have gone to mediation. Okay, they went to their mediation that was scheduled on 8/8 of 2025, and both of them appeared at the mediation. The thing that I wanted to highlight is right here, both DDG and Haley have completed our Child First program, and they also had a child custody mediation. The sad part about it is, though, no parenting plan agreement was reached, okay? These are the highlighted portions. I don't know if y'all are able to see that. Let me make sure that I get this color the way I like my color, though. Hold on so y'all can really see that. And I can zoom in some more if I have to for y'all to be able to catch that, Henny. Yep, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more so y'all can see this. So as you can see, the Our Child First program was completed by the petitioner and the respondent. They held their child custody mediation, but no parenting plan agreement was reached. So they are still feuding over their parenting arrangements as to how they're going to go about this. I just feel like at this point in time, and I'm going to keep it so funky with y'all, at this point in time, they better come up with something before the courts come up with something, because it's very clear and obvious that the two of them, both of them, are engaging in, I'm hurt by you, so I want to hurt you, and I'm hurt by you, so I'm going to hurt you. Both of them are doing this to one another. I do hope that they're able to come up with some type of parenting agreement for the sake of the baby, because we've seen DDG with Halo. Obviously, he loves his son very much. Haley loves her son very much. So for the sake of the child, I think people need to learn to put their differences aside and do what's best for the child. At the end of the day, though, people don't know how to move past their own hurts and grievances. I just want to say, I'm not just blowing smoke up people's behinds, because that's something that me and my oldest children's father had to do. We had to sit down and we had to say, okay, you know what? I hurt you. I'm sorry, but we can't go back. These kids didn't ask to be here. We need to find a way to co-parent and coexist, because we're going to have to deal with each other for the rest of our children's lives. Like, a lot of people think that parenting ends at 18. It doesn't end at 18. It's for the rest of their lives, because once your child turns 18, 21, they never stop needing their parents. They may be independent and take care of themselves, but they're always going to need their parent. So you got a long haul to go. So why not start now while he's younger? Like, get back to the friendship. But then again, a lot of times people are having children and getting into relationships and situationships, and they don't even have a foundation of a friendship there first. So why don't y'all start trying to be friends and get yourselves some family counseling? Because even though you're not together, y'all are still a family. As long as you have blood that flows through your veins and air in your breath and a child named Halo, y'all are still considered family, whether you like it or not. So just hopefully they can put all of this behind them. But I did want to give y'all that Halle Bailey and DDG update with them. It does seem they're making progress. Okay. The fact that they even both completed this child first program, I want to commend the both of them for that, because that's like a parenting program. And the fact that they sat down in the mediation, this was the first mediation to happen. So maybe as these mediations go along, they'll be able to find some resolution between the two of them, regardless to what the issues may be. Now, moving right along to the next topic at hand, we're going to get into the latest stunt by the diddler. Okay. Now, listen, I'm going to say what I want to say. So if you get offended, that's a you problem. Don't make it a me problem, because then the snipers and the bouncers will make it a them problem as well. Now, I didn't go to Rolling Stone because a lot of people were using the Rolling Stone article. I wanted to go someplace else. And where I decided to go was to Business Insider. Why not? Because this is a magazine publication that deals with business. And this is the area in life where he thrived. So the Business Insider titled this, Diddy's Bid to Avoid Prison, Become an Anti-Domestic Abuse Advocate. They said it. I didn't have to say it. They said it. Okay. And this is not a gossip blog. This is a prominent publication that is saying that it is a bid to avoid prison. Okay. Child. In a bid to avoid prison time, Sean Diddy Combs plans to propose his hopes to counsel abusers. Combs was convicted of 2 prostitution-related counts and faces up to 20 years in prison. The hip-hop mogul hopes to be an anti-domestic violence advocate, his lawyer told Business Insider. If he don't go sit down, all he has done, in my opinion, I don't feel like he's learned anything from this. I don't feel like he has been rehabilitated. All he wants to do is get back to his life. On one hand, you can understand him wanting to get back to his life. On the other hand, bro, since your arrest by the feds, all you've been trying to do is get out. That's all you've been trying to do is get out. Now, Mark Agnifilo, he did his interview, and Mark Agnifilo said that MDC does not provide what he needed. So they had to bring in an outside team to provide counseling and therapy for him. And you just started that not too long ago. About a month ago, you might have started, maybe 3 weeks. You just started. You ain't even finished the program, but yet you want to be out here trying to help somebody else. You don't even know all of the steps that it takes to complete that. It's an insult and a slap in the face. And yes, it's too soon to even be thinking that. All of this looks like you're trying you're just doing it to get out. You're not doing it because it's genuine. And I'm sorry, there has to be some genuineness within this. Like, don't do that, because it's a slap in the face to victims and even yourself. It's a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face. Okay. Now, if he's going to be in the MDC and then he's released on time served on October 3rd, if that happens, then fine. But just be quiet, because all of this stuff that he's doing, he's making a mockery of Judge Arun Subramanian's court. Okay? That's how I see it. Because, number one, the judge specifically told these lawyers on July 9th, I need cases that cite the criteria that you are looking to achieve. I need cases that are similar. Give me those cases. Don't give me any arguments. And 20 days later, here comes Mark Agnifilo with cases citing the criteria, but also a reconsideration for bail after the judge specifically said, do not give me any arguments for anything else. Then 24 hours later, Alexandra Shapiro comes with her Rule 29 acquittal motions and her Rule 33 new trial, citing cases as the judge has said, but also making an argument, doing exactly the opposite, doing the exact opposite of what the judge said. Then now they're doing press runs and they're talking to the president. They're not talking to the president. And this ninja is going to matter. Look, I get it. I get it. Nobody wants to be in prison. Nobody wants to be in jail. Nobody even wants to be in a holding cell. Okay, I get it. But the fact that he can't just sit down and process what got him there. This wasn't felonious. Regardless to what people want to run around and say, these were not accusations that somebody just woke up and pulled out of their earth hole. These are actual accusations, the things that came out in the case. There was evidence to back it up. I don't give a damn about what anybody is saying to you about the defense and what the defense has to do, because the defense's job is to defend Diddy by all means necessary. That means if they have to pull a trick out of their bag and pull a trick out of their hat, they will. That's their job. When we start talking about him actually understanding that the abuse was real, when we start seeing that there was proof that you actually were transporting escorts and your girlfriends to engage in prostitution acts. Prostitution is illegal. Transporting humans to have sex in prostitution is illegal. Not only that, all the drugs that were being consumed during this time. Like, have you really sat back and thought about the actions that you have taken that got you here? Let's not forget that when Damian Williams presented this case, it was a totally different case than the case that Maureen Comey put on. Maureen Comey turned this case into a Me Too case and banked everything on sex trafficking and the Mann Act. That's what she wrote on. Meanwhile, there was other evidence that was strong that she could have leaned on, that if it was the case that Damian Williams put out there, it probably would have stuck. But because she banked everything on the freak-offs, this is where it went. But he's still not looking at the actions that, regardless to what he told his lawyers or how his lawyers defended, there are things that Diddy knows he did and that those people who took the stand know that he did. There's things that he knows he did that he didn't even speak about, that he hasn't even sat down and thought, okay, what do I need to change in my life? Because he's so focused on get me out of here, get me out of here. You haven't taken accountability within yourself yet. Forget about accountability towards the victims and the people that, have claimed you've done them wrong. Forget about that. You haven't even taken accountability for yourself. To sit back and own shit to yourself. But yet you want to come out here after 1 month, which is probably 4 sessions, at the most 8 sessions of going through drug treatment and all of that. I'm going to say his sex life, but his sex acts, because prostitution is illegal. It is. And it's the fact that it was drug fueled and all of that. But I'm not going to get into that debate because I'm tired of debating with people about that. Not you particularly, but just people in general. I'm tired of debating that. But right now, I'm sticking on the fact that this man this is an insult to injury right here. Like, did you even stop to think about what the impact of what you just said, how people are going to feel about that? How people who have actually been survivors of domestic violence are sitting back after watching that video, after seeing those photographs that backed up what you were doing to Cassie, after hearing people talk about the violence and the temper that you have. Did you think about how that's going to sit with people? Like, are you kidding me? It takes a domestic violence victim years years to overcome the abuse that a person does to them. Some people get hit one time and it changes their whole life forever. You think that as the person who's inflicting that, you're ready to even talk about doing this? It makes it seem disingenuous. Even if it's something that he aspires to do, it seems disingenuous because it is too soon for this bull crap. And Judge Arun Submaranian, you need to get control of your damn court. That's all I'm going to say. He needs to get control of his court because this is a mockery as far as I'm concerned. Now, if this is something that once he goes through the program and he completes his courses and it's something that he wants to do, I can see that. But not right now. Not right now. It's too soon. It's too soon. It's too soon. Moving right along, you guys. Now, one of the biggest people to be out here making all of these and I'm going to drop the link when I'm done with all of this to give y'all an opportunity to come up and chat. So yeah, please come up and chat, like y'all do on Circus Press Box. Y'all make sure y'all come up and chat now. You hear? Because I know people got things to say. I don't care. Good, bad, indifferent, right, wrong, however you feel. You can come up here and say it and no judgment. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to let y'all talk. But Clayton Howard has been out here on a press run. Now, if you don't know or you don't remember who Clayton Howard is, I don't know where you've been, because he was named as Dave during Cassie's testimony during the trial. And so he came out, he wrote a book, and he has been interviewing with any and everybody that would interview him. And he's been speaking out very loudly and boldly about things that went down and occurred with Cassie and Diddy, and really painting a picture of Cassie. But what Clayton Howard is not out here talking about in any of his interviews is his own personal life, where he is being accused of being a DV abuser by his ex-girlfriend, Francyna Evins. Now, last night, there was a video that was sent to me from a YouTuber that goes by the name of King World. And King World had Francyna on his platform. Now, I don't know how this person is going to particularly feel. Yes, Rachel. I don't know how this person is particularly going to feel about, I'm going to share a little bit of their live. Okay, this is the channel right here. I'll put it down in the description box. But let's listen to a little bit of what he had to say. But before we do, let me bring this back up for a second. There are text messages between Clayton and the ex-girlfriend, and one of them is Clayton threatening to expose her nudes. Oh, we gonna listen. We gonna listen to a little bit of it.
That you were saying. This is the stuff that you was telling her. You sent her this message and you threatened her. She was asking you to take the pictures down. You went on and you said through true pain and hate. She said, take my sweater down too. He said, I'm gonna put your naked pics up next. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw them janks up there. Yeah, I'm gonna put them out there for the world to see. So I'm like, why don't you go on the Art of Dialogue and discuss that? Sit back on the couch with Art and say, hey, Art, man, this woman, man, she got me gone, man.
That part, because it's giving obsession with this young lady. But before we get any deeper into that, let me bring her in first, because I want y'all to hear what she has to say. Because Clayton, let me tell you, Clayton has a YouTube channel as well. And Clayton has been saying some things on his YouTube channel. Yeah,
People, Francyna Evins is lying. She's not being sued for child support. She's being sued because she's a crazy bitch who can't leave her ex-boyfriend alone. Probably for the same reason Cassie paid me for 11 beers. People, I got the good, whatever it is. Not to toot my own horn.
Probably because he has the good D. And that's why. Listen, if you have not had the displeasure of listening to this man, Okay, number one, he talks eloquently and educated. Okay, he talks like he's intelligent and has read more than one book in his life. All right. He claims that he's in school as a law student, but baby, after you have filed 26 lawsuits, I would say that you would be very versed in legalities and legalese. Okay. 26. Yes. And from what I understand, it's alleged that Clayton has filed suit not only against Francyna, but her family as well, including her mother, I believe it was, and her brother. Uh, he spends a lot of time suing. And he speaks about having an order of protection against her, but according to Francyna, allegedly, he got this order of protection because he got it through family court, making a false accusation against her. And family court gave him an order of protection, that it wasn't an order of protection for an act of violence. But he has a whole narrative that says that it was all a setup, that the DA was in on it, the cops were in on it, everybody is in on it, and it is all to keep the black man down. Oh my God. Let me explain something to y'all before we get into this, okay? Men are victims of DV as well. And I am not one to sit up here and say that because a person is a man, that they don't deserve justice when they are done wrong, which, speaking of, we are going to talk about Sha'Carri as well with the incident in the airport. I don't believe that DV is just a woman thing. I know that it is a people thing, and it could happen to men. Okay? But let's listen to what Francyna, yes, family court. We're going to get into what Francyna had to say about all of this hoopla that is going on. And we're going to go to the first video that she did. Shall we?
Hey guys, I just wanted to get on here and thank every single soul that reached out to me between last night.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute.
Today.
Hold on. Part 3 coming. Hold on. That was part 3. I thought that was the first video. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Orchard Street?
Francyna, yes.
Okay, I'm Officer DeFleece. How can I help you?
My name is Francyna. So this situation is extremely complex. I'm trying to make it as basic and specific as to what I...
Wait a minute. Let me see if I can find a clearer copy because that noise is bothering me. It's bothering me. I don't know if she has a clearer copy, but I can't do that buzzing noise.
Etc., etc. So he's been going on to a whole bunch of platforms. He goes by the name of Dave in the court, but his government is Clayton Howard.
But wait, there's more.
Allegedly, he has multiple lawsuits with his ex-girlfriend, current Staten Islander and fitness guru, Miss Francyna Evins.
She's your queen.
I don't know who this content creator is. I'm trying to keep a straight face, but he's just as silly as me.
To me.
She has a whole bunch of paperwork on this guy to say he's been harassing her.
Damn.
For like a decade, and he just claims to be a bitter ex-boyfriend.
Oh no, he didn't. Miss Patience.
So
let's get into what happened.
Let's see what transpires out of this. Is this guy, I'm not saying there's no legitimacy to the stories about him and his encounters with Diddy and Cassie, but it seems like this love triangle, if you may, is just unfolding. So let's see what transpires. Let's see what the courts throw out as far as a public record of documents and stuff like that. Let's see what happens. But without further ado, let's watch this video. Make sure you click and subscribe. Let's go.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Etc. So he's been going on to a whole bunch of...
Okay. So this is what she had to say.
All right. So not only did the same man that's suing Diddy and Cassie for $20 million is actually trying to sue me to get that. I have no kids. it was my greatest hope to start a family one day when I finally legalized this breakup. However, I was served in March for this order to demand like pay stubs, like my income, and it just says child support. So I'm looking at the motion, the application to the motion that he filed, and it says all this stuff like, you know how you check the boxes for your children, his child is autistic, nonverbal, he names the mother of his child in the motion, and that mother is not me. So you can see it for yourself. I can share this in this video, which I will most likely do, but I'm over it and I'm done being silent. All right, so not only...
So as you can gather from that video right there, she is not the baby mama. She's not the mama. She's not the mama. But somehow she ends up in family court with him.
All right, so we're gonna get into the child support motion that was filed initially. So the reason why he was able to file this motion, because he did it in family court. I guess he was too cheap to go to civil court. Like he's suing Cassie, he's suing Diddy, he's suing all of my friends, he's suing TikTokers, he's suing all content creators because they're bringing light to my story that I've been trying to bring light to since 2022 when I ended the relationship. So, you know, he just...
Sometimes I don't know how to read you because you come off kind of snarky sometimes, but that wasn't the whole purpose of that. But anyway, moving right along. So as you heard her say, there were a lot of lawsuits that he has been filing out here. I would love to sit and talk to Miss Francyna Evins. I would even open the door to talk to Clayton Howard himself. Yeah, because there's a lot of questions that I have. But let's let her finish what she was saying, and clearly she did get the lipstick off her teeth.
Just finds new ways to silence me. The reason why he was able to is because he has a restraining order against me that was initially used to repossess a puppy and falsely accuse me of child abuse.
A restraining order to repossess a puppy. You can't make this up. At least I can't.
So the same child that he recently relinquished his rights to, he is now saying that, you know, according to the paperwork, that I have to pay him for child support. She's listed in the order. The mother is listed in the order. And I'm just trying to ask the clerk, like, what does this have to do with me?
Now, the mother is listed in the order. He's coming after her for child support. I don't even understand how this works. If anybody down there in the comments understands how this works, please let me know. I love you too, Moonlight Sunshine. Somebody... Milo, you need to relax. Please tell me how that works. Knocked over the stand, playing with his little paper ball. He's playing, leave him alone. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, how does this happen? I want to know how you do all of this. And not only that, you're going for child support for a child that you allegedly, and I have to say allegedly because I don't know, I haven't seen paperwork for that, but he allegedly signed his parental rights over to. I don't understand.
And she's just like, well, if you don't appear in 30 days, you're going to have a warrant, send it to your attorney. And I'm just like, I got to get another attorney. Like, how many do I need? So I get the motion finally. It's 64 pages. Like, I don't know which, it's actually longer than Cassie's. Like, I don't even understand. And I didn't even read the motion, to be honest. It was just too long. I've been going through court with this guy for years just because I ended a relationship. But what I will read you are the demands. All right. Wherefore, the plaintiff respectfully requests that this court, A, find the defendant in violation of the existing domestic violence restraining order. B, impose additional remedies deemed appropriate by the court, which may include but are not limited to: 1, increase restrictions on the defendant's ability to file repetitive, baseless, and vexatious litigation against the plaintiff. But need I remind you, this Monday he filed the 26th charge against me. But just keep that in mind.
You can't make this up. I mean, you could, but then why? Why?
2. Monetary sanctions for the vexatious litigation and fraudulent actions. 3. An order prohibiting the defendant from making false statements or misrepresentations about the plaintiff's mental health. 4. Any other relief the court deems just and proper to protect the plaintiff and enforce the existing restraining order. 5. A referral made for prosecution for acts of fraud should the plaintiff successfully present evidence of judicial fraud and public records tampering. 6. A warrant, I repeat, a warrant is ordered for the arrest and detention of the defendant due to the repeated intentional failure to comply with the order of the court. Now, I don't even know what the end game is here. I have 25 dismissed cases, 20 dismissals, 5 acquittals, and counting.
20 dismissals, 5 acquittals. What? Yet he's on Vlad and Art of Dialogue and Tasha K and CNN and this one and that one, talking about Cassie and Diddy and his lawsuit against Cassie and Diddy. It's not just against Cassie, like he's saying. Diddy is named in it as well. Okay?
And I'm tired.
Girl, we tired for you. We is tired for you. We is tired for you. Now, I got to find the video that I watched last night where she was talking about, is it this one? I think it's this one. I'm not sure. But there is a video that she has where she's saying that this man has gone and filed her name. He's claimed her name. Is it this one?
Just for the record, I have never said my ex's name one time in these past 3.5 years as I'm fighting to finalize my breakup through the legal system. However, he took it upon himself to purchase my name, Francyna Evins. We were never married. He purchased my maiden name and he made a fictitious website. He put my face behind bars. He put arrest Francyna Evins on top with his phone number on top. So I guess people could call him. He attached it to my LinkedIn, my YouTube channel. I have a business. All of this for someone that you're afraid of because you're a victim, right? Absolutely not. But I was named after my grandparents. My late grandfather was an entertainer. His name is Frank Owens. And my grandmother, Maxine, she's 91 years old right now. And she doesn't, my family's legacy shouldn't be at the hands of a lunatic that just wants to be attached. And all I want is my name back and I want my life back. So if anybody feels it in their heart to consider sharing my story, help me raise awareness against legal abuse because this is really getting out of hand and I want to enjoy the rest of my life. And this all brings me to my main point. I know I said in the beginning of this video that I've never said his name, but all you have to do is Google my name and you see his face. And that's all I've been trying to fight for these past few years in the court. And it's like the prosecutors are afraid to prosecute him because he sues them. He sues them all. Just for the record.
So he out here just suing people. He's just suing people. But now let's hear his side of the story, because aside from him saying that she must be obsessed with his beef patty, if I have to fight this woman to destroy her, that's his video cutting up. That ain't me. It's crazy that he says he's a victim of legal oppression and there is 25, 26 cases. Oh, you know, we about to pull on that, right? We about to pull and see. And this is going from state to state. It's going from New Jersey to New York, you guys. So, yeah. Is it just me, or when I said that he sounded very bitter when he was talking about the things, what'd you say? Is there a video playing? Yes, there is a video playing, but I'm not putting, oh shit, sugar honey. Well, I could say shit. Oh shit. She said, is there a video playing? I'm just sitting here. Now I'm looking. Let me play it for you.
I got to do whatever it is, not to toot my own horn. But clearly, this woman can't leave me the hell alone. I have to find a way to get this woman to leave me alone that doesn't involve me dying, because it clearly seems like that's what she wants. She wants me dead, people. She's that hurt. She's that heartbroken. People that I need to suffer for the rest of my life till she obtains the personal satisfaction she needs to move on with her life.
It doesn't sound like she wants him deleted. It sounds like she just wants her life back. But I don't know, because we ain't there, so we don't know what's really happening. And for legal purposes and protection of the channel, let's go ahead and let's change this banner up. And let's put our usual banner down at the bottom. Okay, hold on one second. Where is it? Boom. Everything is alleged because we weren't there, so we don't know what really happened, you guys. We're just listening to both sides of the story, and I am giving my commentary based off of the information that is here. All content that is being used in this portion of programming is used underneath the guides of the Fair Use Act, and it is used for criticisms and commentary purposes. Thank you.
People, fuck that. If I have to fight this woman to destroy her, to get her to leave me alone, people, I'm willing to do it. I'll sue her.
If I have to fight, you know what? Let me bring him up on it. I can't do it. Y'all got to see this for yourself. If he has to destroy her, that's what he will do.
In civil court for valid things I can prove, yes. I have an active restraining order against her. If she violates that restraining order, people, as a victim, as the protected party of that order of protection, people, I'm going to the cops like I've been doing.
A victim. That's the word that he keeps using. Like he's a victim, a victim, a victim. He's a victim, he's a victim, he's a victim. I'm not diminishing his victimhood. I'm not saying that it's not possible that he has suffered some things in life. But how is it that you are somebody who deems yourself very intelligent and you keep finding yourself in the same situations being victimized by a woman? Yet you say it's because you have the good D. Let me tell you something about good D. Eventually, good D wears out. And it's no longer good D. It just becomes trash.
You guys want to say that's harassing her? Fine. But people I know.
That's him. That's him.
Or she exercised the order. See, don't be biased. Take Me Too supporters that don't want to acknowledge that Me Too is about equality. It's not about the rights of women. Everyone, anyone can be a victim. Anyone can be victimized by someone else who puts themselves in a more powerful position than them.
I think that's his thing. I don't know this man personally. I just know what we see. And based off of what I have seen, it seems like he has a lot of suppressed anger towards women. Just my observation.
Victimhood is more than physicality. It can be mental. It can be socially oppressive people. It can be legally oppressive.
And that's where I was talking about this earlier, was the legal oppression. That many lawsuits against the person, that's abusing the system. Like this is ridiculous.
I am a victim of a legally oppressive woman who has weaponized law enforcement to come after me for years. I deserve the peace that a domestic violence restraining order is meant to grant me, which is the right to be left alone, or to be defamed. I don't deserve to be harassed. I don't deserve to be re-prosecuted for things that were dismissed in the original order because my ex-girlfriend is so bitter and jealous and needs to see me, and the only way she can do that is to keep filing reports. No.
Do you hear this? The only way she needs to see me, and the only way that she can see me, is to go to court. Milo, I am not. I'm about to put the kitten out. I looked down and the first thing I saw was his elevator doesn't go to the top. But exactly, but he's doing this same thing to Cassie. You are harassing and Diddy. You're doing it to Cassie and Diddy. You're harassing yourself. I mean harassing them. And you're slandering and defaming. I'm sorry. Milo. I'm about to have apple juice come and get Milo because Milo just jumped on me and was trying to climb up me, but he needs his little kitty claws clipped again. Anyway, let's continue.
That's wrong. This woman has cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars over the last couple of years. And yes, people, I am suing her because I want that shit back. I don't give a damn if I break her mother to the point where her mother's house has becomes mine. People, I don't care.
Did you hear this? He don't care if he got to break her mother to the point that the mother's house becomes his. This is a different type of vendetta right here.
Should have thought about that before they started stalking me through multiple states and lying on me. They should have thought about that before they attacked my relationship with my child, before they posted and altered documents to make me look like a schizophrenic and lie to me before court. See, Francyna should have thought about all of that, but she didn't, because she's a selfish, weak, broken-hearted child being supported by unethical adults who will not hold this child accountable for the things she's doing. But people, I'm fucking gonna hold her accountable. And if law enforcement doesn't want to do it, the civil courts will do it, and I'll break her pocket and I'll devastate her life for the rest of her life so she's working and paying me. People, I deserve my money back. I deserve my rights and I deserve to be left alone. And until this woman leaves me alone, people, is up. I'm gonna file lawsuits. I'm gonna exercise the order. People, she's gonna stop. This is a complete lie.
So not only did
this video is a complete lie, people. She's not being sued for child support. As you see, she's being sued for stalking you. And that's just it. So audience, on behalf of justice and the mission to empower others, man, I wish my situation could end. God, I wish it is. But I do have an ability for the kitty case. Who is saying this? Yes, she is. Not really. A lot of times I don't read comments. What's up, Ileana? I really don't be reading my comments. Not a lot, but yeah, she's lying. And I can't really get her to stop doing this until I find a way to get law enforcement to take accountable. But I can sue in civil court, hopefully win some of my money back, get some civil injunctions against her and her mother.
This all sounds so very familiar. How did she come between? This is what I want to know. How did she come in between your relationship with you and your child when you've relinquished your parental rights allegedly? That's what's being said, that he signed over his parental rights to his child. Clayton has also alleged that Francyna slapped his daughter over Valentine's Day stuff. There's a story about that he's put out there. I personally, as I was looking through this last night, did not see any photographs posted. But again, this came across my desk last night. And so with me getting it late and having to be up here with you guys and having technical difficulties, I'm going to continue to dig on this story because this is classic narcissistic abuser behavior right here. Okay, it's classic. If he were a woman, this woman would be getting trashed and torn and drugged through the streets. When you are done with the person and truly done with them, then you are done. You claim that this woman is stalking you, but all we see is you filing these lawsuits. Now, like I said, I'm going to pull on these lawsuits and see what we can dig up. And we're going to talk about this, okay? Because 26 lawsuits is obsessive. And it's excessive. And not only that, you're talking about going after her mother. You have filed a suit allegedly against her brother. You have filed suit. He filed suit. Hold on, you guys, because let me just let's see if I can pull that up for y'all really quickly. Now, let me put this up here just so y'all, because I know some of y'all like to, there is 2 books, okay? Cassie. Okay, a memoir. This is this right here. And then you've got this one. Now, I've read this book right here, and that book is riddled with contradictions from cover to cover. You have him saying one thing in one sentence, and then in the next sentence, it's something else that contradicts what he just said. You have in this paragraph, he's saying one thing, in the next paragraph, it's something else that contradicts what he said, or the story changes. In the next chapter, it will change. There's a lot of contradictions. If you read the book and then you watch the interviews, you'll hear the contradictions that come out in the stories that he tells. One of the biggest one that I am scratching my head at is the fact that he says that he never orgasmed with Cassie. Well, when men reach that point of ecstasy, they fun time jizz. Unless you're having dry fun time jizz. But you say you never. Never means never. Then how did she get pregnant by you? She raped you on her menstrual. And I'm going to use a word that a lot of people like to say. I'm going to use a statement that a lot of people say. Yet you kept going back. Why not tell the people how you reached out to Cassie when she filed her lawsuit? Cassie did not reach back out to you. And so you went and took it upon yourself to reach out to her husband on IG. You're reaching out to them on IG. The husband said nothing to you. You went on to detail your relationship and said that you weren't graphic, but you felt the husband had a right to know. So you went on and told her husband some things in that inbox. And when he didn't respond to you, you went on and reached out to Douglas Wigdor, which is Cassie's lawyer. And you went over there asking them questions about if you were going to be named and trying to seek legal representation from them. And then you said in an interview that you started speaking out because Douglas Wigdor called you a dirty sex worker. So you started telling your story publicly. And that Tyrone Blackburn, somebody who we all know who has been after Diddy for years, who is like the African-American equivalent of Tony Busby to me, was your attorney. And you said that he told you to wait to publish your book. And so you decided to drop your book right after the verdict came out and your lawsuit all came out at the same time. Now, I don't know what happened. He claims that it was published on Amazon prior to, but from what I saw when I looked, it looks like that book came out right along the same time as your lawsuit came out. And then you started doing a press run. And yet you have not spoken, not one time in these interviews, about the fact that you have 26 cases that have been filed against your ex-girlfriend, allegedly, until I can actually pull it and verify it for myself. Yet all over your TikTok page, this is his TikTok page. Oh. Hold on. You've got me on your page. Let's see what he posted.
The BBWs is mad. Oh, they mad at me. I done exposed Cassie. The BBWs is mad. This is the standard of women that are judging me. Ha! Ha ha! The BBWs is mad.
Should I do it? Should I do it? Or should I leave it alone? Is that supposed to hurt my feelings? Is that really supposed to hurt my feelings right now? Henny Glasses in the chat if I should get Henny legal on his ass now. Because see, since you want to poke and pride and you thought you ate with that, I'm going to show you what eating really is now. I'm going to show you what eating really is. Because I'm going to dig up everything that is public record. Yeah. You don't know me, but allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is that girl, Henny, because I'm that girl. And a misogynist, egotistical male who puts all his value in his dick could never. I'm a BBW. I sure am. And they still love me. You know why? Because I have something worth valuing. It's called intellect, personality. I have a good heart. I'm a decent person. And I'm very transparent. So you think because I have a fit body and I've got a big penis that's veiny, that's all you talked about in your book was your penis and your body, and you deemed it making love to Cassie when you were paid to lay dick as a male whore. Interesting. The delusions run deep in you, sir. I can be a BBW all I want to. Face card never declines. My spirit card never declines. My personality card never declines. Me as a person, I don't decline. But now I'm on your ass, Clayton Howard. Now I'm on your ass because I'm not your average. And did y'all hear that ting? Did you hear it ting? Did Henny Glasses, if y'all heard a little ting? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear it? I want to know, did y'all hear it? I want to know if y'all heard the ting. Oh yeah, you heard it? Y'all should know what that ting is. That ting means Henny Legal is already on the job. Oh, it looks like you in trouble. Hold on. Let's just do this really quickly because we got a lot of windows open. So let's go ahead and let's start closing out some of these windows, shall we? I forgot to play y'all what DDG said to the person, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and close out some of these windows because we don't need nothing. Don't disturb this groove. You ready? Y'all ready? Y'all know that means it's a document coming. Wow. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and let me make my screen the way that I like my screen when I'm presenting documentation so that you guys can actually see the document for yourselves. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I present to you the beginning of the exposing of Clayton Howard, since he has an issue with the BBWs. Let me show you how a bitch go down the slide, my nigga. Now, this is Clayton Howard against Malcolm Penn White, okay? And it says that you are summoned to answer the complaint of the plaintiff, all right? What is the complaint of the plaintiff? Well, let's get into it, shall we? Statement of facts. Malcolm Penn White is a local advocate and self-proclaimed community activist. The plaintiff and defendant were connected through a conflict involving the plaintiff's ex-partner, Francyna Evins. Mr. White, along with several associates, conspired with the plaintiff's ex-partner to have him charged and detained based on fabricated allegations made by the ex-partner. Mr. White was instrumental in providing the ex-partner of the plaintiff with the connections necessary to begin a war of fictitious litigation, which has lasted to the present day. During a recorded call that occurred sometime in 2023, the defendant, during the conversation, confessed to misconduct regarding his support of the plaintiff's ex-partner, admitting his interest was due to sexual lust and disregard for the plaintiff. So he's basically saying that another man who was helping him fell for his ex because it was lustful, and so he began helping her. Now, why does everything always equate back to sex with you? Is it because that's all you have to offer, sir? Let's continue. The defendant never sought to correct the damage done to the plaintiff's life by exposing the deceit of the ex-partner. So the plaintiff and defendant became adversaries with the plaintiff, publicly challenging the credibility of the defendant in a public and online forum. On or about July 15th, 2025, the defendant began his online attack of the plaintiff by tagging him in posts below. Malcolm Penn made a post that said male escort, and I can't begin to imagine the disgusting things you will do for cash. Being a male sex worker is the worst job ever. Yeah, and then let's see what he said at the bottom of his post, okay? Shall we? Let's read what Malcolm Penn had to say and why he's going after him. Clayton Howard, selling your body as a man may offer quick money, but over time it could damage your self-worth, which it has, because he feels that that's all he has and that that's all that people want from him, which it's probably all he has to offer. The defendant then published false and defamatory statements about the plaintiff, claiming the plaintiff to be homosexual, who had a sexual relationship with music producer Sean Combs for profit. The defamatory statement included, but were not limited to, the following: you are a hashtag funboy. What makes you fake is because you want to be part of the LGBTQ community. You drink fun time jizz. Wow. You slept with men and women. You want a role of a straight man with a girlfriend. Meanwhile, you are into sick sexual activities for cash. I never slept with Diddy. You did. You are a fake internet courtroom bully. You have 5 STDs, including genital warts. You're having outbreaks. Sue me for that information as well. And he says that, and then Clayton clapped back and says, I do. I have no genital warts, and I definitely don't have 5 STDs. Thanks, stupid. I'll add that to the complaint. Well, now, Clayton Howard, while you may not say that you have genital warts, I do have your court documents where you were trying to seal your health records because you do have a form of STD. And it is in public record because I caught it before it was ever sealed. So you can't come for me about what's in a public record. Shall I proceed? If I should proceed, y'all say yes, indeed. That's to all the new people that are here. The ones that are already here, y'all already know when I say, shall I proceed? I got a yes, indeed. Let's move right on over to the next lawsuit because we gonna read these, okay? We gonna read these. All right, let's get to the next one, shall we? This one right here, dated 11/15/2024, is Clayton Howard versus Laura Owens and Francyna Evins. Oh, this is another lawsuit that was filed. Okay, and let's just read the preliminary statement. He says this is a civil action for damages arising from the malicious, coordinated, and unlawful conduct of defendants Laura Owens and Francyna Evins. Over the course of more than a year, the defendants engaged in a deliberate campaign to slander, defame, and falsely accuse the plaintiff of various criminal offenses, including abuse resulting in plaintiff's wrongful arrest, loss of business contracts, and emotional distress. I thought he said duress. Plaintiff is bringing this action in person without legal counsel to seek redress for the damages caused by the defendant's illegal and malicious acts. This is filed in New Jersey, you guys. Let's see. What else do we have in here? Oh, Henny's got goodies today. Here's another one for you guys. Clayton Howard versus Maritza Stewart. Okay, let's see what he is suing Maritza Stewart for, shall we? Factual acts. On or about June 30th of 2025, plaintiff filed a pro se civil complaint seeking damages as a victim in a multi-state sex trafficking matter involving Sean Combs and Cassandra Ventura. Okay, on or about July 10th of 2025, defendant, a content creator with a substantial online following, began publicly disclosing the details of plaintiff's civil action on her social media platforms. It is called public records. And therefore, with public records, that means we can publicly expose. So here you have him going after a content creator. Defendant was a known supporter of Cassandra Ventura and has previously engaged in content attacking Sean Combs and others who have spoken against Miss Ventura. That is not illegal. That is not illegal. Defendant began attacking plaintiff's credibility in support of Cassandra Ventura with the apparent intent to discredit plaintiff before the public and undermine his legal claims. Well, sir, you do a good job of undermining yourself, because at the end of the day, I was trying to give you some grace, but the truth of the matter is you're a liar and the truth ain't in you as far as I'm concerned. Allegedly, at the end of the day, you put out this book. I read the book. I sure did. I read the book. And I read the book and I've watched almost every interview that you have done, and I have listened to the contradictions and how your stories evolve. Let's talk about some of those contradictions, shall we? Because while he said that he never orgasmed with Cassandra and he said that he got her pregnant, but male orgasm consists of sperm. Okay, I've already talked about that. You also claim that Cassie didn't do it for you. Yet throughout the whole book and in all of your interviews, you talk about how beautiful she was. And you go on and on into detail about how you were sprung on her, basically, sir, because you keep saying how she was gorgeous and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Sounds like you were in love with her. It does. But you also said in your book that you couldn't orgasm. Cassie didn't do it for you. And I'm paraphrasing, but what I'm not paraphrasing is the fact that you said that when you were done, you went out and you hired prostitutes. You weren't proud of that, but you had to go hire prostitutes to relieve your blue balls. Then in one of your interviews, I can't remember if it was with Art of Dialogue or with Vlad TV, but in one of those interviews, you said that you went, and I believe it was Art, that you went home to your girlfriend who did it for you, who you loved and you were attracted to relieve your blue balls. And then I think the story evolved either on Art of Dialogue or Vlad TV, because I can't remember. I can't keep up with where you're going, but I can keep up with the story. You then turned around and said that you went outside in Miami and were finding randoms. Or was that with Tasha K, that you said you were out in Miami finding randoms to relieve your blue balls? I know you don't want me to start dissecting all of your statements where you have contradicted yourself. You really don't want me on your ass. You don't. You don't. It was best I invited you to come to the platform. I was inviting Francyna to come to the platform so that people could get both sides of the story. But it seems like you feel the need to come for me when you put your business out there in the streets. And now I see your end game, that you like to come for content creators that put your business out there, but you put your business out there because we would have never known anything about any of these lawsuits. We wouldn't have known anything about Francyna Evins. We wouldn't have even known who you were unless it picked up some TikTok viralness. Until you stepped out and had to announce, I'm Dave. I'm the one who was servicing Cassandra for 8 years. I was with her longer. You sat up there and you said that it was a competition for who would be her boy toy. And Daniel Phillips sat up there and said, that is not what was presented to me. You made it seem like you were top notch, top flight security of the world, Craig, of her pick of the litter, when in all actuality, Daniel Phillips was there before you and you were brought in. And even though he was there before you and you try to say, well, I outlasted him, so I was deemed the winner. He was there before you, stroking her kitty before you came and stroked the kitty too. And regardless to how you feel about whatever it is that she did, you could say you don't feel that she was coerced. Sir, you weren't with them 24/7, 7 days a week, 365. You don't know what transpired before or after. these freak-offs went off. So for you to speak on their personal life, you can only speak of what was going on in them freak-offs when she was high out of her mind in them freak-offs, as you call it, making love. Sir, you even went on to say that you guys were in a monogamous relationship, when I don't understand how you and Cassie were monogamous when she had a whole man and you had a whole girlfriend that you were sleeping with behind Cassie's back. You were sleeping with Cassie behind your girlfriend's back, excuse me. Then not only that, you said in your book, when you found out that you had contracted chlamydia, you thought that your girlfriend gave it to you, but she went and got tested, is what you had said somewhere. I don't remember where, because you lie so much, but you said that she had went and got tested and it wasn't her, so you knew she got it from Diddy. And then you brought up and said that Cassie said, oh no, babe, remember we had a chlamydia scare because Diddy cheated on Cassie and gave Cassie the chlamydia, and Cassie gave the chlamydia to you. Boy, if you don't go sit your ass down somewhere. That's why I be in the comment sections listening to what you say, and all these people just be eating it up. But not me. I'm not eating it up because I'm watching you. Yeah, you're quick to come out here and you want to bash every female that has ever crossed paths with you. You want to claim victimhood because you can't stand the fact that there are women that were actually victimized. You want to be Me Too, and you want to take over it and make it about you. You are egotistical, and you are diabolical in the way that you are going about attacking all of these women. Where's your proof, sir? Where's your proof? I would be willing to run a story based off of your proof instead of your words, because right now the proof that I have is in the pudding, that you don't want nobody knowing your business. Now let's continue. On or about July 12th, 2025, defendant began creating and publishing online videos discussing the domestic violence legal proceedings between plaintiff and his ex-partner Francyna Evins. Again, if it's on a public platform, it becomes public information. The record establishes that on December 1st, 2022, Ms. Evins was found liable for harassing and burglary after a trial where her cross complaint was dismissed for lack of credibility. Well, we're going to be pulling that up for ourselves because you said you studied law, that you're a law student. Are you actually in school for that, or is that something that you're doing as you make up all of these cases that you're bringing against your ex? Don't worry, we won't wait. Since December 1st of 2022, Ms. Evins has engaged in a pattern of stalking plaintiff through the filing of fictitious litigation in New York and New Jersey courts. Ms. Evins filed over 40 false police reports against plaintiff, multiple domestic violence petitions that were dismissed, multiple charges that were dismissed, and unsuccessful appeals of the protective order. Now, again, we're going to be pulling all of that up, but you see he goes on and defendant's content categorizes plaintiff as the worst ex ever and compares him to a fictional abusive character on Netflix, in a Netflix movie. Now, we can get into her too, but right now I'm just moving right along to show you all of the public record that is out there. The next one that we're looking at is Clayton Howard against the City of New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority, New York City Transit Authority, and the MTA bus company. So he has a lawsuit against the bus company. I don't even know what happened to him, but I'm just showing y'all that this man loves to sue. We've got another court case that I'm going to show to y'all and put up on the screen. It is him versus Richmond County District Attorney. He's suing a DA. Isn't that what she just said he liked to do in her videos? Let's see. What is he bringing them up on? Criminal procedure law, compensation, executive law. Okay, this is all of this that he's bringing up. Let's see what the factual allegations are that he's bringing up against Jermaine DePass. The petitioner, Clayton Howard, was the subject of two separate assaults by Jeremiah DePass. The first occurring on June 13th of 2020, where petitioner was attacked by Jeremiah and four others, and the second a year later in July of 2021, where petitioner was attacked by Jeremiah and Alicia Wise DePass, both of whom are offenders in the assault 1 year prior. The initial assault resulted in a severe injury where the plaintiff's Achilles tendon was severed, necessitating surgical intervention and leaving him physically incapacitated for more than 9 months. So you got your ass whooped. and ruptured your Achilles heel. Don't worry, we're going to get back into that one as well. So you saying that the Richmond County did, okay, so we're going to get into that one as well. But here we go. Here's another one right here. Here's something else for y'all. A plaintiff filing for attorney information. Okay, Clayton Howard. Financial loss due to failure to protect victim from malicious, fictitious litigations of Francyna Evins. Plaintiff forced to pay legal fees. Oh yeah, we're going to get into this. Suffered emotional and psychological trauma as prosecutors allowed the plaintiff to be falsely arrested for winning a state order against Francyna Evins. Do you hear this? So now he's saying that the police is going around and they in her back pocket is what he's saying. Boy, if you don't get up out of here. Now, I have just started. We've only just begun. The exposure's not over. That's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cases that we were able to pull thus far. Hold on, let me see something real quick. So y'all got a taste of what it is that I'm pulling. How's that for a BBW? At least I don't place all my stock in my punanter. Anyway, Francyna, if you would like to come up and give your side of the story, you are more than welcome to reach out, and I will definitely make time to put you up here on the platform so that you can speak and tell us what exactly is going on, because, girl, we need to know, how did you end up in family court over a puppy with a restraining order? Girl, we need to know. And Clayton, if you ever want to clear anything up or come face to face with this BBW, you're more than welcome to reach out as well. I would love to verbally spar with you because, yeah, there's a lot. But anyway, I did promise you guys that I was going to drop the link for y'all, for those of y'all who want to come up and speak on any portion of programming that was covered. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. And as always, if nobody comes up, then I'm going to go tra-la-la-la-la about my day. But I find it also suspicious that this is going on and all of these cases are being filed in court and none of them are finding it highly irregular or suspicious. I think the courts might be just looking at him like, this name again? But we gonna look and see who's filing what and where they filing it at and how they filing it. And we gonna pull it all out because it's public record, which means it's fair game. It's fair game. Sorry, beloved. Sorry, not sorry. Uniquely said, Clayton, this ain't what you want. You better tread lightly. See, the thing is, I tried to come on here and be neutral as best I could with telling this story because we don't know the full story of what's going on with Francyna and with Clayton Howard. We just know that there is an ex out there that he is saying that there was a domestic dispute with. He has one side of the story. She has one side of the story, but the court docs have another side of the story. And the crazy thing is, if he is the one that's filing against everyone because he feels like everyone does him wrong, that means that he is a career victim. But you know what? I would like to know what you originally went to prison for. You know, you opened the door to that one because you said that while you were sleeping with Cassie and Diddy, that you violated parole. And therefore you were in jail. But what was the initial charge for? And you said you became an escort after coming home from doing a bid. You also claim to be a cocaine dealer. I would like to know what else she was doing. So yeah, a dig is going to be had and had is going to be a dig. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's portion of programming. Thank you all for tuning in. And so everybody can get the schedule down. It is Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will be live on this channel. But I am trying to figure out a quick way to get y'all some shots of hot Henny as stories develop throughout the week. So yes, Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m., 10 p.m., we are live. So we will be back again tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are on the replay, run this all the way up. Be sure that y'all are leaning on that like on the way out. And remember what I always say, love is always love, and vibe high so that the bullshit don't stick. And I'll see y'all at 10 p.m., y'all. Peace, everybody. We out of cha.